Tuesday, March 26, 2019. Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Born and nimble.
Okay, minutes and reports received and filed. Commissioner Committee Liaison Reports, upcoming meetings and events.
Alrighty, get caught up here. Got the chamber eggs and issues Friday morning. We'll be up there with Mayor, Representative Veet, and who else? Is it? Okay, Representative Griffith will be up there too, so there for that. Saturday we got Emmanuel Lutheran 150th and got their resolution to present to them. So not too much. I think last Thursday was the US 54 Improvement Advisory Council, and they just wanted to talk about all the at-grade crossings. They don't have any money or funding for it, but they want to have a list of priorities and a plan. That way, if they do get some money. So it was interesting. We had one of the sheriff's deputies there too. Passed me up.
Oh, Chris doesn't have anything. Okay, as soon as this is done, I'm on my way to Dallas. So you are in charge for the rest of the week.
I'm only one vote. Only one vote.
Well, John's going to keep an eye on it.
It's only one vote. It doesn't do any good.
Oh,
So.
okay. Well, yeah, you get this.
Hey, okay.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jill.
you
Y'all are in trouble now.
Hey, Sam, give him your proxy.
Oh, okay. Commission comments, bids and contracts, unfinished business, accounts payable review.
I'd ask for approval of accounts payable.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. So I need to, okay. Sorry. Chris usually reviews them and approves them, so I'll do it at our level.
Okay. Second final reading of budget adjustment number 2.
This is for the $50,000. It's for the LEPC grant money that we received, so I need action today.
Is it 30?
5,000.
I was gonna say.
50,000.
50?
50,000 is chairperson accepted 50,000.
I was gonna say, what did Bill do?
It's written right, I
I
said.
wish.
Just add another zero.
This is the sub-award grant that we received to do our chemical flow study.
Yeah, what's the court order number? I don't have my
Two.
agenda.
Number
Oh,
2.
2, okay. Make a motion to approve court order number 2.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approval and signing of Dunklin Street Bridge Replacement Cooperative Project Agreement.
Morning, David.
Morning, how are y'all?
Wonderful.
Good. So ultimately, we bid the project for Dunklin Street. I think Eric indicated that he sent you along the bid tabulation for that project. It looks like Don Schneider's Excavating was the low bid for that project, with a bid of $2,611,000. And so that is actually a little bit under what the estimate was. The estimate was about 2.9, and so it is also under the amount that we had kind of set aside for that project in the sales tax. I think we had set aside ultimately 2.9 million. Of course, there was about almost 300,000 of that went towards the design, so we're still a little bit under what we had originally thought that project would cost. So that's a good thing, I think. But ultimately, what we're here for today is basically just to sign it and ask you all to consider an agreement basically to fund half of that project. And so I don't know if that language has made it all the way to you, but we have that agreement here, and that's ultimately what we're asking today.
Do we have a not to exceed?
Yeah, the agreement is set up such that you would pay for 1/2 of the consulting fee for the design, which was just a second, $142,760.75, and then 1/2 of the as-bid construction contract, which was $1,219,724.02. The city would also contribute half to the design, half to the as-bid price, and would cover any change orders that might happen with the project.
And due to our budget this year, we're making a payment this year of $320 and then make up the difference next year.
So are you using your
Reserve.
reserve? Okay.
It gives us a little bit of cushion of like 4,000. I think we 325, 324 or so in reserve. So
So you're paying that this year?
You got the agreement?
Paying the rest of it next
we
year?
Correct.
we
Right,
set
so
it,
the
we set it at
agreement-
320.
Right, the agreement states that the remainder would be paid after July, or January 31st of 2020.
So we're good, and we would recommend approval.
So the last update I had on the capital improvement cooperative projects had that projected at 2.6 million, and the city contribution would be 1.8, and ours would be 800,000. So did we,
That might be an older version. There've been a few versions that went around. The
that's
one
the
that,
latest version I had.
there should be one attached to the agenda today that would be the version that David's got and I got as well here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, what you have right there, I don't know if I emailed, I don't think I emailed it.
Well, this is attached to it, but it says we're doing half of the 2.6. And
The spreadsheet that you have is,
I can find it.
spreadsheet that you have there is an old working draft of kind of where the money was. But that, I believe, I don't know if that's been updated since we've kind of made the finance change, or the funding changes on this.
Oh, I didn't bring that with me today.
Yeah.
this is
You see
from
what he's got
November.
there? It's
This
good.
isn't any good.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
throw that
that's, right.
So where did the extra money come from then?
I'm sorry, Jeff, what?
Where's our extra money coming from? We're at 800,000, but in this agreement, we're at 1.2
The
million.
800,000, I believe, was for
At
the
one
High
time-
Street project.
At
not
one
the
time,
Dublin
before we
project.
finalized the budget last year, we thought we might have 800 available in reserve. And so we plugged that number into what we would pay this year and then make the difference up next year. But it turned out that we didn't have that much at year end. And so that number would, if that sheet would have been updated that you're looking at, Jeff, that would have had 320 on it instead of 800. And that's our payment this year. The difference of 1.2 million and some change would be paid next year and figured into next year's budget that we'll work on in August.
Well, what I'm looking at is basically over the whole 5 years though. And that's where I'm trying to figure out where the support emerging economic commercial development projects we had remaining within the category 2.1 million. So that's where it's coming from.
The category.
I don't remember. I didn't bring that sheet with me, Jeff. Can I look at it?
That one was from November of 18, so
Right, so basically we had,
taking some of this and going up to there.
no, we basically had 4.6 million in this category. And so we're using basically 1.7 for the High Street project, and we're using the remainder for the Dunklin Street project. So there's the 2,614.
And we got this plus this then.
So there was 2.9 million set aside for Dunklin Street originally. The bids that we have right now are for, the total project was 2,611,000 and change, but there's 120 some odd thousand of that, that's sewer that comes off of that number. So really we're dealing with about 2.5. And so you can see we have, 2.6 here in that line item. So we're actually a little bit under where we thought we would be.
So then where's the rest of this one coming from?
Well, it'll be, the actual would be split, whatever number gets plugged in there when it's.
Right.
Yeah, this is a pre-bid, this is before we hit any bids.
So why did that change then afterwards? Because the contribution was different before.
Right, because that was when Eric and I were discussing what monies the county had available for that project.
Okay,
at
so
the
where did
current
the
moment.
extra monies come from?
It'll come out of next year's budget.
Budget.
Yeah. This was just an up to date at the current year, what's been spent or what's gonna be spent on the sales tax. And so next
Okay.
year, it would be
Right.
changed to reflect actual.
Right, so this number in the current agreement is actually 320,000,
Okay.
with the remainder coming out of 2020's budget.
So then is that gonna affect High Street getting done, monies being available and all that?
That's all, and that's all
Okay.
in that separate, they show that on that one line down. So
Okay.
that money is in our budget this year, the High Street.
High Street,
Yeah.
Well, it's been in our budget for 3 years. All right, neither here nor there, right? I won't beat you up too bad. No, I mean, we went over all this, but I was just, when I was
Right,
looking
and
at these
that-
numbers,
I-
it wasn't quite the same, so.
Didn't get that sheet updated and back up to Eric,
Okay.
so that's why there's.
And that sheet you're looking at, Jeff, that gets periodically updated as projects are funded and changed or whatever. And so the last update was November. I guess we would change it as of now and show the new contributions on that, so.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try to keep you all on target then, so.
Yeah, I mean, we were really pleased, I mean, with the numbers, you know, and so ultimately, I think some months ago, there was the concern that there wouldn't be available funding for the High Street project, but, you know, in so much that this came in under what we had allotted for within the sales tax, then, you know, that all works out, you know, works out well.
All righty. So. Where are we at? Which one do we have here?
Dublin Street Bridge.
Trying to figure out, there it is. All right, I make motion, we sign the agreement setting forth procedures for the Duncan Street Bridge and Corridor Joint City and County Capital Improvement Sales Tax Project.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We've got on there the approval and sign of East High Street, reconstruction property. Are we gonna,
We did some further investigation on that and actually found that that had been approved over a year ago. And so we don't need to do anything on that, so that could just be removed from the agenda.
okay,
You need this? We signing this?
no, that's
I got it.
what we had approved, yes.
I got mine digital format, so
Okay.
it's on the
Okay.
computer.
Then we're good.
Yeah, 2 copies, yep.
If you need it, you can get there, you've got them.
Called it.
Okay.
So Dave, are y'all looking at,
Jill, did you get?
any work being done
Yeah, we got 2 copies.
this fall on High Street, or do you think it's gonna be next year?
David, you gotta send that, have Brian send that back to
As a digital, or as the,
the original.
okay, yeah, we can have
Lynn
this.
likes to get those if she can.
Oh, yeah.
We'll give the clerk the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. Copy.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a problem.
The digital one.
Okay, but yeah, we'll get the original back up here.
Sorry, I'm gonna put you on the hot seat.
That's all right.
again.
Yeah, I mean, our intention, and I was talking with Tia, again, it's really kind of dependent on if we have any difficulties with the adjoining landowners. If we don't, you know, we're about 80% done with the plans. And so, you know, and Eric and I were discussing back and forth, you know, thinking that we were gonna be talking about that agreement again today. You know, we had talked about October or August, I think. And so certainly in talking with Tia, she was confident that that would be achievable. The difficulty is if we end up with some, you know, landowners who are not in favor of the project, and that.
So have all the letters gone out? Have they gotten their 60-day notice or whatever saying?
Well,
Come talk to us.
nothing quite so formal as giving them any particular notice. In all the time that I've worked with the city, we've never condemned anybody, so, you know, it's always a negotiation of some sort, so, we'll just have to, hopefully that will be sufficient on this project as well.
A lot of those homes are rentals,
That is correct.
yeah.
Well, this comes up every meeting I have. Anybody asks on the east side is wanting to know where it's at. Because it's an economic
So
development project as
If
well.
there aren't any significant problems with any of the landowners, then yeah, the project could be bid this year.
So then
so
what
it-
happens if there's significant
Well,
landowner problems?
We'll work through them as quickly as we can. I mean, I don't know, I mean, would the commission be favorable to condemning folks or, you know, of the city undertaking that sort of action?
That's the city's job. It's in the
You have a
city.
few vacant properties there, but I don't, we'll wait and see how things work out. I mean, in the long run, it's gonna improve the value of their property, just having, you know, retaining walls and all this other stuff, because I drive that road every day when I come into work, and it's,
Well, I'm not doing it for the value of their property. I'm
Well,
doing
no,
it
I
for
know, but
public
I mean,
safety. So if it comes down to, if they're not gonna give up their property to let us do some work on the right of way and such for public safety, then it's a whole different story. So,
yeah.
Right, it's not that it can't happen, it just takes longer.
right, so I'm just getting a timeline on it because when you go to these meetings, they do the same thing that I do to you, and I'm like, God, I knew I should've went and had coffee somewhere else, but. So, I know you love coming up here, David, so I'm just trying to get it nailed
Yeah,
down
I
a
mean,
little bit.
I don't foresee, I mean, you know, a lot of the properties are in disrepair, you know, so you would imagine that if someone was going to come along and offer to rebuild it for you for free,
But you always have that one.
that you would be happy to, you know, let us have an easement to do the wall or whatever. I mean, you would think that's the way it would be. And generally, that is the way it is. But, you know, I don't want to say with 100% certainty that, you know, every one of these property owners is on board with this project and, you know, ready for us to, you know, dig up their front yard. I can't say that. And I'd certainly think that more than likely that it's not going to be a problem, but.
We run into the same thing, so.
Every
All right, David.
Go light a candle and.
So, but yeah, I mean, that, it is the project that Tia is working on, you know, and so we are working anxiously to get it done. I mean, you know, because our council folks, it's not only you guys, you know, we're, after Public Works and Planning meetings and various and sundry meetings of the city, I get hit up by our own council folks about the same thing. So, you know, we're pursuing it as fast as we can.
Yeah, that's my fault, because I called them and told them to hound you about it too.
Okay.
Or I asked them to hound you about it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
So,
yeah,
okay.
thanks, David.
You bet.
thanks, David, run like hell.
Quick, before they say something. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Okay, approval and signing of Cole County Sheriff's Office Lenovo System X VMware maintenance renewal.
It's a maintenance agreement. We need it signed. Keep your computers going.
Where are we at on the agenda here?
I thought Brian did that.
Brian is suggesting that we do it. I asked him always before I did it. The problem is on this particular one, we did not put it in our maintenance, our continuing maintenance agreement budget. So I'm paying this out of civil, but it's already in our budget for next year, so that way we just
Yeah.
missed it. I don't know why, but we did.
Oh, maintenance. Okay.
Our server.
Why do you do this one when Chris is gone? He loves these.
I talked to Chris on
So-
the phone about it.
I'll make a motion, we approve and sign the Cole County Sheriff's Lenovo System X VMware maintenance renewal.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, signing of Salute to America agreement.
I have a copy.
Do you have, well, I got the one that Chris was,
The what?
the one the chairperson already signed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yours is special.
Well, it's already in there to be paid, so.
All right, I'll make a motion, we sign the agreement with the Salute to America.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Signing of surplus title for Sheriff's Department.
This is a 2015 Ford, for the sheriff. Traded in, auctioned
Sold
it, sold it.
it. It's the old K-9 vehicle.
Okay.
Make a motion to sign a surplus title for the 2015 Ford.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any other issues to come before us? Nobody, okay. Move we recess till 4:30.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. That
Look
was
at that.
quick.
Gosh, that's